Text is another thing this lighting trick is great for. Now again, I've got my light, I've got my text. If I go ahead and put my text in 3D space, I immediately get that little bit of vignetting, that bit of fall off to the edges. If I want to get a hotter look to this, take the light and increase its intensity. So I scrub it higher, you see I'm getting this bright yellow area in the middle, where I'm getting an orange, my normal color, on the edges. And again, this is before and after. Now this yellow is not coming from a gradient. What I'm getting here is the specular hotspot of my light hitting the text. If I go ahead and select my layer, type AA to reveal the material options, I can go ahead and play around with how much the specular is adding into this look, and how broad the specular highlight is by playing with the shininess parameter. High shininess, very tight highlight. Low shininess, very broad highlight. Let's go ahead and go for something very tight here just for an example. I'll increase the intensity a little bit. Now so far I've avoided putting layers into 3D space, but if you do have a layer in 3D space, it can be very fun to rotate it and see how the lighting plays across it. So I'll go ahead and select it, hit R for rotation, enable keyframing for Y rotation, hit N to go to the end of my comp, and just scrub a little bit of extra rotation in here. There we go, off to one side. Hit 0 on the numeric keypad to RAM preview it. And I'll calculate it up here and we'll go ahead and preview it. You see how that specular travels across the layer. That's because the angle between the text and the light is changing over time. Just a very simple movement can create this sort of play that gives us much more interesting lighting effects, and again gives the impression of 3D when we've put very little effort into this. Go ahead and stop it and go back to the head. This sort of trick works fine against a white background or a black background. It creates a nice look to the text. I do need to show you though one exception to everything I've told you so far, and that's black text. I revealed my material parameters, and remember I talked about this metal parameter before, how at 100 it uses the color of the layer to mix in, and at 0 it uses the color of the light. Well, let's say I had black text. I'll go ahead and just click on this black swatch here. No matter how much I increase my specular highlights or increase my intensity, I'm never going to add anything to this black text. And that's because adding black to black still gives you black. That's the one case where you want to take this metal parameter and reduce it a little bit to get the glare of the light itself into this. I'll go ahead and knock the shininess down to make it a bit broader. Play around with my intensity to balance things off against each other. And now I've got a nice hot in the middle, falling off to the edge look on black text. And the only way you're going to get that is to reduce the metal parameter to get some of the light's original color back in. As I go ahead and drag through time, now my highlight's playing across my metallized text. If you change the color of the light at this point, you will also change the color of this glare. Double click the light, pick a new color, like, well, let's just pick something in more of a purple range just for fun. Click OK. Now I've got a purple lighting on my text falling off to black around the edges. There we go. Very cool look, and again with very little effort. So again, I want to really point out, even though we've been using 3D lights on this project, we've not created a single 3D camera, we didn't move any of our other footage layers through 3D space, and I only did a real simple rotation move, hit R to reveal it, just to make the light play across my text layers. So even if you don't want to do a project in 3D, it's worth exploring using 3D lighting just to add some more sex factor to your project. Hope these tips are helpful. Look forward to seeing them on your own projects. Take care.